Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to this edition of the HTC's regular meeting. Your regular Thursday, February 9th, a little bit after 1 p.m. Presents Gary Thornwell, Val Oliver, myself here, and Diane Coombs on Zoom. So we'll be doing hybrid voting. Note that anything you say, this meeting is being audio and video recorded. Anything you say, play, mute, whatever that is, will be broadcast on the town's YouTube, so act accordingly. And can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
On your motion, Val?
Aye.
Carrie?
Aye.
Diane?
Aye.
Okay, and I'm an aye. Is there any members of the public who wish to comment? Okay, we'll take that as a no. Commissioner comments? I do. I was hoping, I thought Ray was going to be here. I was hoping we'd get an update from the meeting between Select Board, NPD, DDC, and HTC chairs. Kind of a recap. Esmeralda, would you mind emailing him that to confirm that it's okay to put on the agenda for Tuesday, Commissioner comments? I don't know that there's really anything to discuss at that point. It's just a recap. But I think we, I've been getting calls about it, so. We'll move on to consents. Does anyone need to recuse?
Chair.
Yep.
I did not personally review the ones that are on consent, but I thought for your consideration, there were comments that HSAG provided on lane locations for the shed and driveway.
Okay, hold on one second. I appreciate that. Hold on one second. I wanted to see if we can handle this. I have not reviewed the consents.
I didn't either.
And have you?
I wanted, could I say something on this consent?
Yeah, go ahead.
On at least on the copy of the agenda that I came down, that nobody signed off. I thought we were
Yeah.
signing.
Yep, Diane, I asked Esme before the meeting, she actually processed those and she forgot to put her initials in, EM.
Okay,
So,
I just,
yep, no, I appreciate you pointing it out. I had noticed it too, so we're back on track with that. All right, so given that there are comments from the HSAG group, organized public, do we want to review either of the 5 Hillers? Where is Hillers relative?
It's in the, no, not that Hillers.
Oh, okay, that's what I was thinking, Hillers, how is that? It is in the OHD, this one?
yes,
All right, so what's a motion, please, someone?
do you want to pull 4 and 5?
It's up to you guys. I mean, wait, hold on one second. Sorry, Diane, I'm reading the comments. I'd really like us to start to get comments in advance of meetings so we can process them. Straight to the driver for the curve, that's what you see in that. Yeah, I think we could have a very brief discussion on 5 Hillers, it'd be worth it. So how about a motion to approve on consent items 1 through 3?
So move.
Carrie, I think was actually in there. Carrie on your motion.
Aye.
Diane,
Aye,
Val,
Aye.
okay, and then let's just take up, well, before we take up 5 Hiller. Number 4 and 5, is Yuri here?
No.
Okay, so why don't we get a motion to hold those for representation?
so move.
On your motion, Diane,
Aye,
Carrie,
Aye.
Val,
Aye.
and I'm an aye. And would one of you be so kind to see if you could like shoot him an email or a text and let him know that if he wants to get on today, he can just sign in. Okay, 17 Orange is represented by Linda Williams, Windows change. Is Linda here?
It says hold.
Yeah, sorry, I couldn't really see it.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Next one too.
So new business 1, January 10th, 23 is a hold until next
Tuesday.
Tuesday. Also, just announcements, we don't need to motion, old business, January 17th, 126 Main is a hold. That, I believe Ray stated was permissible based on the fact that he would not be here today.
Correct.
Okay, so that's for the record. We're on a new business, January 24th.
I'm first.
Does someone want to hit the confetti button or?
Where should I move to, or can I sit here?
You might, just so you don't get complained about, you might want to just sit over there. You'll still be on the owl.
It's like we just came for our own benefits.
So we'll do 5 Meter Street window replacement.
So, it was actually very serendipitous that we skipped this one on Tuesday because we are changing, we're just gonna stick with all Brosco
Okay,
and screen storms instead of Green Mountain.
okay. And I have a question before we go to staff and public group. Is the window configuration of the lights changing or no?
No, it's just the
Just
same,
with
yeah,
Manufacturer,
yeah,
Okay, thank you.
they're all gonna be new windows.
right,
Right,
yeah.
yeah, just sometimes, someone decides they want to do 2 or 1.
SDL?
TDL.
Oh, you are going to
Yeah.
TDL. Oh.
Okay.
I have no concerns if they're TDL.
Okay, do we have public?
Oh,
It was based on
they
the,
said the same thing.
Okay, so, and I have no concerns, you're basically exchanging the windows for new windows. at
yeah, and if
least.
some can be kept, they'll keep them, it's just some need to be replaced.
And Mr. Chair, if I may, just
Yeah.
for the record, in case anybody says, well, how come there wasn't, a detailed window survey?
But the
I think
90s,
it's- Yes, I think it's important to just mention that this is a circa 1993 structure. Originally moved across the street in 2001-ish,
Mhm.
from 44 Washington Street, and that is not a contributing structure. So.
okay, thank you, Holly, I think it's good to point out for the record. 60 Easton Street is on hold until Tuesday.
Did you guys vote on that?
No.
Oh, we didn't, I'm sorry, I just want to move.
Yeah.
I'm,
I'll make a motion to,
motion to approve,
carry on your motion, Diane,
Aye,
and I'm an aye.
Okay, thank you.
60 Easton is a hold till Tuesday, 2/14. We have, oh, look at you. Gary Thornwell,
It's like being in court.
23 Toshman Lane, out of Skylight.
out of Skylight, it's on the front of the building.
Oh,
Um,
Here.
Hi.
and, in fact, I believe it is now centered over that window. They've framed it in case we can do it. But they framed it over that window instead of between the two. So just so you know, if we're allowed to do it. We do it.
okay, cool. Any questions? And if not, who would like to speak?
I think I'm okay with it. It's not in town, it's not a historic structure.
Diane?
yeah, is it wood framed?
It would be, yes.
Okay. I'd rather see it on the back, but it looks fine there in the upper third of the roof and everything.
Okay, my question is, is it I don't care, but I'm just curious, is it a manufactured metal skylight with a wood casing?
Yeah, it would be a Velux pop
Yeah,
in,
perfect.
and then they would have to trim it out in wood.
Okay, how about a motion?
Motion to approve.
On your motion, Val,
Aye.
Diane,
Aye,
and I, and that is in the application with a wood casing.
No, but you can put that as a
And
condition.
through staff, that it'll be centered over the second, set of windows in from the left, I think was your motion, right, Bill?
Yeah.
Okay,
Thank you.
all right, we are on to 54 Orange.
Mr. Chairman,
Yeah.
sorry, may I add that Jura is in the queue?
Okay, why don't we pick him up because we're kind of flying through here and I don't want to run out of people. On those lines, is Linda up there?
No.
Okay, do we, any idea, did she mention?
We requested to hold all of her applications, she's at CPA.
Oh, okay,
Engaged right now.
Oh, CPA.
yeah, all right, okay, Yuri. You there? All right, we're gonna return to 5 Hillers Lane under consents. Number 4 is shed change door revision.
I didn't bring my little tablet.
Neither did I. Oh, I did, but
Well, this screen is pretty.
He was out on cue, he's disappeared.
All right, well, we won't wait around. It's easier for us to hopscotch back.
Okay.
Ethan's here. for
Ethan's here.
24.
Okay, so why don't we go back to new business, January 24th? And, sorry, Ethan, it is number 4, 54 Orange Street, repair and replace deck.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, why don't you see it on the screen? Why don't you start?
Okay, so we have previous HEC approval for a lifetime replacement for this deck. The deck that we're sort of modifying is 1940s, 1950s edition. We've got some photos that show the original box of the house, and then there's been significant work done, some not great, in the past. So what we're proposing to do, or the proposed changes, are essentially changing that existing stair.
Ethan, I'm sorry,
Yep.
I gotta interrupt. You're really tinny. Is there anything you can do with your mic? We're getting some feedback.
Let me
Slower.
Or talk slower, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be good. Thank you. Sorry to interrupt.
Okay. Sure. So
It's
the
like there's an
only
echo.
actually,
Yeah,
how about, is that any better?
Yes.
yes.
That's better? Okay, great. Sorry about that. So we're proposing, the only modification we're really proposing is the stairs and this sort of outdoor shower enclosure that's off the rear of the deck. This whole yard is enclosed by a fence and a pretty significant euonymus shrub that's about 10 feet tall all the way around. So it's limited visibility. But again, we've got like-kind approval already approved to replace this deck. And the only proposed changes are to the stair and sort of shower enclosure at the rear. And we've got a photo of what it looks like currently.
Okay, can you go back there?
The street view is really good.
So you're not extending the deck in any direction?
Correct. Oh, and we got rid of we had a little built-in kitchenette on the inside of the lot, but we eliminated that. So
Okay,
that's
Ethan,
the
where's
street view.
we don't have the benefit, each of us having our tablets. Where is the shower going?
It's under.
The shower is adjacent to the stairs at the grade level.
Okay, thank you.
If you go to the drawings.
I'm trying to pull it up on my phone.
Yeah, it's definitely a disadvantage on our tablet.
So it would be butted up to the right of that. Can you go to the drawings now?
Ethan, will it be to the right of the stair?
That is correct.
Okay, so away from the street.
Yeah.
It's a double bag.
Correct.
And there's no deck above it,
Hey, put your.
Correct.
flipper
It's a
on.
lattice.
so the deck still stays beyond, so the only thing that's popping out from that the deck are the stairs and the shed still.
That's
Yeah.
correct. There's no change to the perimeter of the deck.
Okay, so you're just popping in the showers on that side, which is the interior of the lot.
Any other questions for Ethan?
No.
Okay, Diane, thoughts? Oh, wait, Holly?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This is a circa 1835 Gable and Greek revival, built for Edward Field. I didn't see the historic information indicated on the application. I kind of want to use this as another point to say, people do that, please. I don't care if it's for, a garden or landscaping plan. It should be associated with the historic resource if it is, or if it's not. For this repair and replace deck at outdoor shower, it seems appropriate to the proposed architecture. Nothing incongruent with what's already there. So my biggest thing was the historical information. No concerns, and the HSAG, it was the same, no concerns.
Okay, thank you, Holly.
And Holly, our apologies on that. We didn't note it on the application, although I think we did provide a fair amount of historical data in the digital
You did.
packet, but we will make sure that we have it on the application.
Thank you.
Are there any public comments?
Oh.
Just one sec, Diane. I'm gonna turn it over to you next. Just checking on public. Okay, Diane, go ahead, please.
No, I think it's good. I don't think you see it. I think its house is very well protected vegetarianly.
Nice. Val,
I have no concerns.
Carrie?
Ditto.
My only comment is I'm glad this is a Thursday meeting. We don't have a full-on audience. That deck in town, 3-story deck,
Yeah.
Just, it's, well, do we have any idea when that was approved?
No.
It's not part of this.
Look at the
one.
photos. It goes back to like the 50s.
The
It
fifties.
probably was
Yeah,
a
you know, right before the HTC
Yeah.
came in under that first act.
Probably why the HTC came in
Yeah,
20 years later.
all right, how about a motion?
You wanna write?
Motion to approve is submitted.
Somebody mute.
Saying that we,
I,
On your motion,
Aye.
Val,
Aye.
Diane,
Aye.
and I'm an aye. Okay, we're gonna move on to.
Thank you. And could we hold 17, or I'm sorry, I think we've got a project on Pleasant Street coming up. Could we hold that to the next meeting, please?
Hold on one second. What number is it?
17.
17, and is it, have we gotten any letters on it?
No,
Okay,
just.
yeah, Ethan, the reason I asked for letters is because if it's something that an abutter has commented on and the notice to hold isn't 2 weeks in advance, it will delay your application hearing a week. And the idea behind that is that the abutters have an opportunity to, you know, have their resources scheduled in advance. So it's just, I'm pointing it out, it's an opportunity for you to be aware of that. And so.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so we will go back to Yuri. Is Yuri up?
He is here.
Okay, Yuri, we're gonna, your two items, number 4 and number 5, 5 Hillers Lane, were pulled to review some comments that were submitted by the public. Why don't you, when you see it up, why don't you give us a run through on the shed change door revision?
I thought I just saw his name.
Hello?
Will we hear you?
Sorry, yeah, I can hear you, sorry. I didn't realize it was already my turn that week.
Can you zoom in like 20%? Yeah, perfect, thank you. Okay, Yuri, why don't you just walk us through it? I mean, it's pretty straightforward. You're trying to put in a 12 light French door in a shed. And
Yes,
move it from the other side. Okay, so,
yeah,
okay. So the concern was the French door, the shed will be visible from Hiller's Lane. It is not an appropriate door for a shed. Simpler batten style door with or without a small sash would be preferred. Thoughts, any questions for Yuri? And if not, somebody can jump right into comments.
I think it shouldn't be, it's a wide open driveway there,
Mhm.
so I don't disagree with that, those comments.
Okay. Diane,
I don't think it should be a 12 light door facing out.
okay, Carrie,
yeah, I think a 9 light is most of the glass you should have in there.
okay. I saw something interesting
Sure.
today that noticed in the past, which is a batten door is the primary door and the interior storm door was a 12 light. It's not a, you know, entryway style door,
Right.
but then it allows the batten door to be opened and the storm door to be installed, or the screen of the storm to be installed. But it's on the inside of the structure, so it's kind of interesting. Yuri, you've got support here for appropriateness of a 9 light door. What do you say?
yeah, we can change it to 9 light door, no problem.
Okay, how about a motion?
Motion to approve through staff with the 15 light door becoming a 9 light door.
Okay, on your motion,
Aye.
Carrie,
I,
Diane,
Aye.
and I'm an aye. All right, next one is your driveway and some fencing. Give us just a minute. When you see it up, you can start, once we get to the site plan.
Yeah, we are pretty much proposing switching the driveway to the right side of the house and making it, as you see, kind of curved. So because it's a one-way curve, so the cars can pull in easier and then pull out. It's very tight turn, very tight driveway, but looks like this way we can actually create 2 parking spots instead of what was there before for only 1. And then proposing to put a fence on the left part of the driveway, and there's a storage for bikes. There is an arbor and the trash area, so we'll just stay as it is. blocked show you the fence and the gate.
Okay,
And of course, the driveway is a brick. It match the existing or right side.
all right, we're having a little bit of a trouble here, and I think we
Yeah.
understood. Esme, is this is the existing, can we go to the proposed, I think it was the prior,
This is the,
that's existing, it's,
The green fence exists, or the green line exists,
I don't see a curved driveway though.
and it's on the
Yeah.
right.
I don't see a curve though.
It's on the right side, yeah.
here,
Maybe if you open the
Oh, it's just
full
faintly
set,
lined.
maybe the scanning line. Yeah,
and
it's maybe the
then
thing,
that's
but if you maybe scroll up a little bit, there is with the full set, it might be more visible.
Okay. Any questions for Yuri?
I'm trying to figure out where I am, so bear with me.
The existing driveway is brick, is the new driveway proposed as brick?
Yes. Same brick.
Can we zoom into the plan of the driveway, because we don't see any lines of how much brick and.
It's on the prior drawing,
Which makes
the
sense.
line is on the prior site plan. Yeah, there it is.
Probably it was on the big set. You can see it there.
So it's gonna have a curve,
Yeah, that's kind of
Um,
funky.
yeah,
Yeah, it has that. It has a flare because you can only pull in one way and pull out the one way also. So
right.
maybe go by from one side.
Are we eliminating the brick in the old driveway or keeping it? It's a lot of brick.
Keeping it.
Keeping it, says that.
Okay, why don't we move on to comments? Carrie?
I'm not adverse to the new driveway per se, but I think it's a lot of brick on both a lot of brick on both sides of the house and, I'm just not sure that's really the right way to go. I think if you got rid of all the brick on the left, maybe put it in the back, but not so much of it. Cause on both sides, it's completely.
Yeah, if that's the only.
Yuri, hold on. You'll have a chance when we're done. Bill?
I think I agree with Carrie. Maybe the brick that's there now can go away.
Okay. Diane?
Yeah, I would do that. Hiller's Lane, as everybody knows, is very tight and very tight to the street and the curb and stuff. And so it's try and keep it as simple as possible down by the street.
Okay. Holly?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just wanted to mention real quick that this is within the old historic district. It's in the fish lots. It's an infill, though, the dwelling itself. Built in 78, but just understanding the setting. And there are some of those side streets that go with the fish lots have sidewalks. I think there is a sidewalk here that's showing.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
if that's the case, then obviously, understanding how that apron is going to be is gonna be key.
Yeah. I wanna
Can we
focus on
look at the photos again if there are any?
Abby's trying to get in. Can someone send her the link again?
You guys, let's keep it tight, please.
I don't have access to it. You don't have.
Yeah, I think it's too much brick. You can see where the Jeep is parked right now.
Okay, well, you went, let's go next. I got a question, Yuri, the fence at the front to close off the existing brick drive. Is that a type 2, 3 foot?
Yeah, yes, it will be same as the fence in front of the building, in front of the house, the white type 2. With the
Okay.
white gate.
And what are you
Don't
proposing?
touch that.
Thank you.
If that
What are you-
helps, you can remove that brick.
Thank you. What are you proposing around the, well, 2 comments. One, that existing fence I think is inappropriate. Can you go up a little bit? Yeah, the top rail of that, for 2 reasons. One, it's oriented vertically, which is not typical, and it's certainly not in the detail. And number two is it's well far too down by probably 9 inches versus where it should be located. It creates a different presentation of the type 2 fence. This would be called like type 2, not so great. I understand you probably didn't build it or design it, but I think it's important to clarify that and then not carry it over into if an approval is made not to carry this design over, and in fact, ask that the applicant would address that matter. What is the fence unit going to be around the AC unit? Units?
The AC units, they don't have any fence around them right now, so we'll just keep it
Yeah,
as it is.
okay, so this is a chance for the HCC to clean up messes, kind of a quid pro quo. What is the vegetation that's gonna be there? Because I don't see any. In the
There will
plan.
be those hedges on the right side as we are showing on the right side of the property line. And the fence will go as far as we can before the curb cut, of course. But yeah, the AC units probably might be better if we can screen those, right? We can put
Yeah, yeah, that'll be a necessity. They don't meet our guidelines outlining what's appropriate and what's not. So now that I get my questions answered, my thoughts are, I'm less concerned about the brick on the left, given it will be behind privet and fence, and I'm more concerned about the arc in the driveway entry. I understand that you need clearance in order to make the turn, but I think that the brick orientation of the sidewalk continue across. And then the brick pattern of the driveway would be a different pattern. So you can drive over that area that is quote unquote laid out as sidewalk, but because it's gonna be at the level of the driveway. I mean, we actually see that. I can't think of a spot, but Annette does that. Comes up a lot in discussion. So Yuri, you understand what I'm trying to articulate there? We still have him. I see his thumb. Is that done yet? No, it's Yuri. Can you hear us?
to match. I can hear, yeah, I can hear.
Okay, so
So
my
should we-
point, go ahead. Yeah, you're breaking up. This is really difficult for us. Is there anything you can do to change your mic situation?
I think I try to fix it in a second. I don't know, maybe is this better now?
Yeah, okay, we can hear you. That's a little better.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think what. So you were wondering how the brick pattern will work out with the curve.
Well, all I was saying is if you were approved for this, I don't know if other people support it.
I think we have to wait till Tuesday.
Yuri, you're lagging and we can't hear you, so I was actually answering the question you posed. Do you want me to try again or no?
I mean, maybe it'll be easier if we do it on Tuesday next week.
Yeah, I think so.
Possible then.
So why don't we make a motion? Thank you, Yuri. Why don't we make a motion to hold number 5 on consent until Tuesday? Anyone?
We're in the,
So moved.
On your motion, Carrie?
Aye.
Val? Diane?
Aye.
And I'm an aye. Okay, Yuri, thank you.
Mr. Chairman, just to let you know, Abby's in.
Abby's here.
Abby's here.
I also have few more. I don't know if we should do that also on Tuesday.
I think so.
Probably will be easier, right? Because I don't have a good reception here.
Yeah, so we'll just roll those over. Okay, welcome, Abby. That brings us back to,
Mr. Chairman, Number 5, Charles Bruno, the homeowner is here. I don't know if he wants to proceed or it is a Linda William application.
Well, I leave it up to the owner, if he's on and he's got his mic active. Charles, welcome to the HDC. What's your preference?
I prefer to have Linda handle that, please.
Okay, fair enough. So that'll get picked up, Tuesday.
Thank you very much.
Sure. All right, so now we're on to number 6, 18 Center Street driveway. Is Nicole here?
Yes, I'm here.
Hi, welcome, Nicole.
Thank you.
Once you see it up on the screen, the site plan, you can go ahead and give us a rundown of what you're proposing, please.
Stephen, I'm here if you need me.
Yeah, thanks, Abby.
I'm on my phone, but
Okay, we announced you. Thank you. Can you zoom in a little bit? Okay, Nicole, sorry for the interruption. Go ahead.
Oh, that's okay. I'm just proposing to put in an 8-foot by 15-foot shell driveway with field stone on the sides there.
Retaining walls or 12-inch high?
Yes,
And you have some images. Do you want to walk us through those?
sure. If you see to the right of the door here, it's 8 feet wide and the space is 15 feet long, and that's where the proposed driveway is. This is in the same location as the neighbor next door at Heartsease, which I believe is 14 Center Street. And there should be an image of her current driveway. And that's the driveway located across the street on Shell Street.
Okay, and would you direct us, when we get, Esme, will you start towards the top again, just to see it for the neighbor's driveway?
Sure.
No?
So
it's
that's
to
my,
the right of the red circle?
yeah, so it's going to be right there in the center of the red circle.
Okay, and the neighbors is to the right of the red circle?
Yeah, the neighbors, so their house, the section of their house, their driveway's on the right side also,
Okay,
if you're looking at the
and
back of their house.
thank you. And Esme, would you just scroll down to see if you can see something that looks like that?
It says cobblestone too, not
Yeah.
There's.
Whatever, we're going to try to reuse the stone around the house.
Okay, just so you're aware, Nicole, we don't see the picture of the neighbor's drive to the right of what you're proposing, but that's okay. I just wanted to get an eyeball on it if we could. Do you have any more comments on materials? That you're proposing, Nicole?
I couldn't hear you. What was the question?
Do you have additional comments? One of the members pointed out that the application indicated cobblestone, but the site plan indicates fieldstone.
Yeah, I'm open to whatever looks best for the neighborhood.
Okay,
She has a pile of stones existing.
Yeah, I'm just kind of collecting all the stones around the house to reuse.
okay, so
they're
it's
not
more of a
part of
cobble. Okay, yeah, that would be nice. Are there any questions for Nicole before we go to Holly?
No.
Okay, Holly?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So this is Ivy Lodge. It's a circa 1814 structure in the old historic district of Sconset. We do have HTC survey on file. Obviously, this is contributing towards the local and national district. There is, if you go to the site plan, you'll see there's a way that's adjacent to this property. So I just want to make the owner aware that provided that the HDC does approve this, you're still gonna have to go to the planning board because you do not meet the zoning requirement off that way. So we just want to notate that for the record, and you'll need that before you even go to the DPW.
Okay,
Also, the site plan versus the application is a little confusing as far as inconsistencies. The application indicated a cobble apron with shell driveway. Those are fine materials. However, the site plan indicates a shell parking with the fieldstone around it. So of course, we need an updated site plan that indicates the required apron that meets the zoning bylaw 139.
Yeah.
Dash 20.1 regarding your width and your apron depth, that's gonna be needed on a site plan. Let's see, was that all I had? Yeah, that was my main concern, was the clarification on materials and the site plan needs to be refined.
Okay, thank you, Holly. Do we have public comment? No, okay. Who would like to comment?
I will.
Go ahead, Dale.
Is there a retaining wall that's 12 inches high, or is that just,
It's like a curve.
a decorative? Is it necessary to have a wall that's 12 inches high?
I don't think so. We could do whatever works best.
Okay.
Okay. Carrie?
It seems like they were just gonna casually edge it with some stones that they find, basically. But the apron issue, can they do shell right to the road on this? That's
No,
the
they
question.
need an apron.
So they need an
for
apron,
zoning
it's probably gonna be 10 feet deep, so that's the material you need to choose and
Well, that's gonna look
deal
weird.
with.
Is that you guys?
It is.
Yep, so let's,
I have a
You have a-
question. I was looking at all the other driveways in the area and they're all shell, but I was told that you need an apron now, so whatever
Yeah.
you feel is
Nicole,
appropriate.
I'm gonna address that for you, Nicole.
Okay,
And since it's gonna keep coming up, I think the best thing is for you is to, at this point, maybe go to planning and speak to one of the planning and land use specialists or Megan Trudell. What you're gonna be looking at here is a approval for a special permit from the planning board. And that's gonna include either a waiver or to minimize the depth of the apron. Because your apron is gonna be almost as deep as your parking area, and your parking area will be non-conforming as to the depth. Because it looks like you've probably got, I don't know, 15 feet there or
Yeah.
less.
15 feet.
So you might want to work to resolve, just get an idea of what may be approvable through Megan.
Okay,
And then mark up your plan accordingly, and you can bring it back to the HDC. Well, we would motion to hold for revisions after I hear from Holly.
okay,
And then
great.
that way you're not losing your spot in line, but at the same time, you're getting, we're not giving you direction that's gonna be in conflict with what you might get from Megan.
Okay, great.
Hold 1 second, Cole, thank you.
I did have the opportunity to speak to Megan
Okay.
today. I did, and so, she is aware that, yes, you'll definitely need a special permit, but it'll be for twofold. One, based on the apron that Stephen just mentioned, but also two, that
Yeah.
distance from the point of intersection, because clearly you can't meet 25 feet off of that way. It's a zoning bylaw. And I do also want to mention, and Stephen, I don't want to take your thunder, but I think you're going to mention on this too. You can also take into consideration that this is a historic district and some of your neighbors that have driveways that are all shell or prior to the law, when it was adopted in the zoning bylaw to require aprons. So just take that into consideration, just because somebody might have it and don't have one, doesn't necessarily mean it's allowed. So I just wanted to mention that for the record.
Whatever looks best and whatever you guys would like is, I'm open. I don't have a preference.
Okay, so, thank you, Holly, and I've got tons of thunder, so. Good. Nicole, I guess my last comment in closing before we entertain a motion is I would suggest that you look at reusing some of the stone or supplementing that stone, laying it out in a field where you basically outline your parking area sufficient that you could grass it. And I think that might be, at least for me, that would go a long way in not creating an oddity of a very small parking space. And it would also address the apron, because I think it would negate it. You could still do a border, at
Okay.
least at the front along the street.
Okay, so can I
But that's
just,
just me, so.
so use the field stone for where you would pull the car in and then just grass the area around it? Did I hear that correctly?
The last one on this, I think when you're referring to fieldstone, you're referring to the stone that was in the images.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, so I mean, that's basically like a large form of cobble. You're gonna wanna talk to a landscaper. If you get too large, it'll freeze heave, and it's gonna be contrary to what you wanna accomplish.
Okay.
If you get too small, it's gonna be problematic. You're not gonna really accomplish the look you're looking for.
Okay.
You might just come in with a couple of alternatives once you speak to Megan.
Okay, great. Thank you for your help. I appreciate it.
Mr. Chair,
Oh, Abby,
It's
I'm sorry, go
Abby.
ahead.
Yeah, I wanted to ask for a view because I want to be familiar with this before I vote on it.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Why don't you make a motion and for revisions in a view?
Okay, since she's got to go talk to the other department, so I'll make a motion in the meantime to have a view.
Okay,
And revisions.
and revisions,
Yes,
please. Thank you. On your motion,
I,
Carrie,
Aye.
Diane,
Aye.
Val,
Aye.
and I'm an aye. So that carries unanimously. Thanks, Nicole.
Thank you for your help.
Sure. Let's see, we are now gonna go to number 7, 18 McLean Lane, Newport, Hardscape, Atlantic. Are they here?
Yep, I'm here.
Hey, Lindsay, welcome.
How's it going?
Once you see the site plan, go ahead and give us a lead in.
Yeah, so we've got a pool tucked kind of behind the house, patio, kind of a simple plan. Not too crazy. I mean, they're gonna build a guest house in the future, but it's not happening right now. Sits at the end of the cul-de-sac. Got some screening at the front of the driveway. Nothing kind of out of the ordinary, I don't think. It's not.
Okay, questions for Lindsay? Carrie, you want to start?
Topo, simply because this neighborhood has had a problem pool already, and it looks like you're close to the property line in the back and on the side. It seems a little overscaled, but I really would want to know the grade elevation of the grade and of the patio. And I also think, I get it, it's behind the house, but I think it should be squeezed down a little bit. The guest house is not there yet.
Yeah.
Great change.
And show whatever vegetation or fencing, because as this neighborhood, I mean, the end of the cul-de-sac, but who's behind it? What's behind? Okay, I see it on the right.
Ashema's behind it.
Yeah, so there's hedging all around the front. What's around the backside? Is there hedging there now?
Yeah, I think it's also that and that natural vegetation back there as well.
Okay, but the neighbors need to be screened too, so, okay, those are my comments, thanks.
Okay, Abby,
I would go along with smaller. I think it's kind of pinched in there towards the property line.
okay, Val,
I concur with the smaller size. It's actually bigger than the house, so. There's nothing showing us how that's gonna be blocked. I know there's hedges, but this house is set way back, so I think you can see it.
okay, Diane,
Yeah, I think it has to be reduced. You can see it from Tashima. The roads scoots around there. As you look at your site plan, you see Tashima comes right along. And it's big, as Val said, it's bigger than the house. Should be reduced down so it's I don't know, 2 or 3 feet off it, so it comes away from the 2 sidelines of the property.
So it's right on the line.
Yeah.
okay,
Right on the
Yeah, we
line.
tried to get it tucked as far back behind the building as possible, but behind the house, so that would, kind of reduce the visibility. So as the board, it seems like everyone's kind of consistent on wanting to reduce the
Lindsay,
size.
hold on a second, I want to finish it up. Did we miss anyone
How big is it?
other than me?
Does it say on there? I can't see it.
So it's a little bit smaller than the house, but the point is made that it's longer than the house.
It is.
Please. Just, I want to get through the meeting without,
We need the information though.
okay, so we've been told it's 16 by 36. It's at least as long as the house. Lindsay, my comments are in keeping with the rest of the group. I think if it were shorter, in terms of length, some vegetation, in closer proximity to the house to prevent any type of view from McLean. And I would caution you, if this is an R20, and there's not an A&R or a recent subdivision, then it could be subject to the pool article setback requirement at town meeting.
Okay.
How about a motion?
A motion for revisions and a little more information about vegetation and so forth.
Well, one question. So everyone seemed to want to reduce the size. What's the consensus on the reduction, just so I can go back to the client and ask them?
Can't you
anyone
do
who-
that?
No, I can, but I just want to make sure if
Please.
I'm reducing it, I'm
Please,
reducing
Lindsay,
it.
stop, Lindsay, stop. I'm just cutting this stuff off at the bud. Is there anyone adverse to, I don't want to have back and forth discussion, Bill, I'm sorry. It's a waste of our time, and we do this on every application, that's more of a waste of our time. Is there anyone adverse to making this at least 8 feet shorter in length?
No, I'm not.
Off the setback line, it's.
Okay, so, well, just a moment, please. At least 8 feet?
Yeah,
Okay, there's no one, okay, so at least 8 feet, and there's concern with it being on the setback. So if you gotta make.
May I-
changes-
may-
Sorry.
can
Go
I
ahead,
ask a
Diane.
question? If you moved it in closer to where all those chairs are, that one block, that would move it away from the sidelines, and it wouldn't decrease your sitting spot too much. And
Right,
it would
so-
make,
Yep.
it would give you a little more working room on between the pool and your sidelines.
Okay, thank you, Diane. So, Lindsay, you've got information to proceed with, I think,
Thank you. All
and you're welcome.
right, cool.
Mr. Chairman, can you repeat that motion?
The motion is to reduce the scale at least 8 feet in length, to move it off the setback, to provide visual screening in closer proximity to the pool to block the visibility from McLean.
An existing topo and,
And an existing topo.
well, just at least elevation of existing grade and top of the pool tile. Top of coping, I guess.
All right, we're gonna move on to 109 Main. We held off on that one, to Yuri, so we're gonna move on to 102 Quidnet. That's also Yuri, we held off on that. So Sophie, you're up, 7 Loretta Lane. There's no other alternates. And Ray's not here, so who's here is your board. Once you see the site plan, why don't you go ahead and get started? And I'm just gonna ask politely, guys, please go through the chair. It's just simple Robert's rules. They're not Stevens rules, with Robert's rules. Everyone in town follows them. Thank you.
So can you guys scroll back up just to orient? So
I think, sorry, we should do the demo of the main house first before we look at the new.
Okay, so again, could we please direct comments through the chair? Thank you. Main house demo, would you guys, is there anyone who would prefer not to do that first? Okay, so let's review number 11. 7 Loretta Lane, main house demo, move off. By the way, Diane, I agree with you. We should change that to move off demo
Yeah. Thank you.
from the other night.
Yes.
So to orient you guys, if you're heading out Pacamo Road, Loretta, it's a dirt road, dead end on the right side. It terminates into 3 properties. This is one. And then opposite is the house that looks like an octagon. I don't know if you guys know that house from exactly. So that's what's between this and the water. The house that's there is really sweet and adorable on the inside, extremely low ceilings, built in 1979. It's currently in the setback. So this is a huge lot, but it was subdivided at some point. So between Concom and a view restriction of the people who owned it closer to Pacamo, this is sort of the buildable zone. So you guys can see where the house is located in the kind of top right corner. There's just a tight buildable window despite it being a really, really big lot. But the house isn't in great shape. It's just very low, so you can't really see that the ocean's right there, even though you're inside it on the first floor.
Okay, any questions? No? Let's see, who would like to begin?
I'll go.
Diane? Abby, go ahead.
I just, I'm kind of okay with it. I understand the height of the inside looks very small even from the outside. But, you know, this is a nice modest size and I don't want to see a blown up trophy house here. You know, keep it in scale. Thank you.
Who's next?
I'll go. I agree with Abby. I don't think this has, it's not an historic house. I think we let ones go like this a lot.
Okay, Val?
Yeah.
Diane?
Right, I hope they've made an attempt to reach housing. It looks like not a complicated house to move.
No, take off the porches. It looks great.
Yeah. Yeah, well, so that'll be advertised and, obviously we have to reach out to Netflix Housing. I know they monitor it, but. Do we have what's a motion?
A motion to approve.
Okay,
The
on your
demo.
motion,
Move off demo.
on your motion, Diane?
Yes. Aye.
Yeah, thank you. Abby,
Aye.
Carrie,
Aye.
Val,
Aye.
and I'm an aye. Okay. Why don't we do the shed demo while we're in the same. Next one up on the list, number 12.
So the shed is in really good shape. It's on sonotube. Someone could totally move it, like a skid steer could practically pick it up. It was back when you guys limited it to 120 on the square footage. So I think that means it was like in the 90s based on the wood stamp on the interior of it. But it's a solid little thing.
Okay, any questions or can we just go right to comments, please? Who'd like to go?
I'm fine.
Val,
I hope it gets moved.
Yeah.
Abby?
Yep, I am in agreement.
Okay, Diane?
Yeah,
Okay, how about a motion, Diane?
I would make a motion to demo or move the shed.
Okay, on your motion,
Aye.
Abby,
Aye.
Carrie,
Aye.
Val,
Aye.
and I'm an aye, that carries unanimously. Okay, we'll go back to the new dwelling.
So what I'm proposing is a house 2635 on the ground, similar location to where the existing house is now. So that's the sort of the buildable zone where we can put a house, proposing wood roof, cottage corners, 29'9" to the peak, sort of Victorian pitches. And to speak to Abby's point before, while there were smaller houses out there and the original one was very sweet, what the properties, with the exception of the Octagon house here, have become sort of larger trophy homes. So scale wise, my clients are wanting something of a large, so that you can see the water, and 2/2 solid wood windows, solid wood doors is what's being applied for. Cedar natural weather for the roof block, and then for the deck that's facing that you would see on the front elevation. I was proposing a shingled rail for that, and also a non-painted cap,
Okay.
so it doesn't jump out.
Okay, questions before we start, anyone?
Can you scroll down? Sorry, up. Thanks.
Would it behoove us to view
Yeah,
before,
seems like it.
because we don't have any photos of the other houses in the area?
Yeah,
And you're
Does
going
that
from.
work in your
almost-
favor?
Yeah, you're going from a 1.5 story house to a 2.5 story house, it seems. Roof pitches 29 feet.
Diane or Abby, do you have any questions?
Yeah, can I give it an opinion?
Well, if you might hold just for a moment, because the sense of the meeting so far, 2 comments, Val and Carrie, and actually myself, I didn't vocalize, is that we get images and perhaps even I would add some footprints of the neighboring homes from the GIS. So we have a better understanding of scale. And then that way we can pick up discussion on the design itself, once we have the additional information, if you and Abby are
I
okay
don't
with
mind
it.
it. I wasn't talking about the design. The building is too tall, 30 feet. on Loretta Lane is kind of high, I think. That's my only,
Okay. And how do you feel about a view, images, and maybe just a quick study of the footprints of some neighboring homes?
I think that's a good idea, and maybe we can get the tentative height of the near homes.
Okay. And Sophie, just while we're listing this out, I don't see a hardscape, but that's fine. Are there any grade changes of any significance?
No,
Okay, so if there was, I was gonna suggest a cross section. Abby, do you have anything you want to add at this point?
No, I just, I think that the design is fantastic as usual, Sophie. But the scale, I'm worried about the scale, so I think a view is a good idea.
Okay, how about a motion for review, images, and GIS quick study?
So moved.
Val beat you to it on your motion, Val.
no,
Abby,
Aye.
Carrie,
Aye.
Diane?
Hi,
Okay, and I'm an aye, so that carries unanimously.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah,
So I know for a fact that the two waterfront parcels in front of this are like gonna be coming to you guys shortly. So that just so you, should I try to get those designs of saying like, you know, versus what you're gonna be looking at if you drive out there, this is. Like Brooke Mirbergen, I think redid it, he might have gotten approved plans, I would reference that too.
yeah, if there's something approved, reference that
Yeah.
as opposed to what's there, because it's gonna be.
That's what's gonna happen,
So
okay.
we should have that
All
context.
right, thanks.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay, we're gonna move on to that. A new dwelling and a new garage separately. We'll take up the new dwelling at Maple Lane one. You can type in the city site plan.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So, this is Maple Lane. I think everybody's familiar with this subdivision. We've done a few other properties in the area. So this is at the very end of the cul-de-sac. So you've approved, we've actually put the figure ground of all the structures that were approved or that we've done, just for context. So this structure sits at the very end of the cul-de-sac. It is angled so that it faces the cul-de-sac, so that it doesn't necessarily face one of the other structures, but that was important. The adjacent structure does that as well. So it's fairly straightforward. You get cottage corners, 2/2 windows. Tried to do a composition of additive massing with some one-story additions, both the left side of the facade and then, of course, the rear of the structure, which I don't think is going to be overly visible. The garage, which is going to come in under separate application. We do plan to connect that with the breezeway. So we did show this as part of the presentation. Those are just very convenient for a lot of reasons. Mudroom entry, people seem to really like those. And it's also a nice way to go from the garage to the house without getting wet if there's rain. I think that the design pretty much speaks for itself. And you guys have seen other ones in the area. I think that it's designed, I think there's a certain vernacular in the neighborhood. And we tried to, be cohesive, but not also not have all of the structures be repetitive in terms of their language. So I think the board's been great in allowing us to do some, different design and different, slightly different aesthetics. So that it doesn't look as if it's, cookie cutter. So with that, look forward to comments from the board, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Matt. Any questions to Matt? Okay, who'd like to begin? Carrie?
Thanks, is the left-hand single-story mass, is that flush forward or behind? I can't really tell.
It's forward. There's actually
It's forward a little bit, okay.
There's some,
That's-
through you, Mr. Chair, apologies, but there's some perspectives at the end, which might be helpful.
Yeah,
You
thanks.
can zoom in on those. So it's projects further forward.
1 foot.
Yeah, but it's still.
Okay, a little bit.
A little bit.
I'm okay with the house. I'm totally against connecting the two buildings. And then the garage just needs to be scaled down, but the garage is not before us yet, but I think, I'm okay with this house.
Okay, thanks, Carrie. Dale?
I have nothing to say.
You have nothing to add or nothing to say?
Both.
Do you want to abstain?
No. I agree with Carrie.
Okay, that's more helpful. Thank you. Abby?
Could we go to the, not the perspective, but the front elevation? Diane's gonna kill me, but I really think the second story left two windows in that dormer should be ganged. The front of the house is, yeah, there we go. See how they're sort of stuck in that double dormer? They just look a little squeezed to me, and I don't know, maybe it should just be one or ganged, which I don't know. Now that I'm looking, see the little shadow of the garage, I guess they do relate. Yeah, about the cookie cutter thing you mentioned, how are you making this not cookie cutter? Because it looks awfully a lot like the one, isn't this Matt's Lane, or is it?
Yeah.
Gonna be renamed.
Or no, if I can answer that, Mr. Chair.
Yeah, please.
So I would say that they're all fairly different. The one next door has a bit more ornamentation, rake profile is different. There's some brackets, wraparound porches, so I think that the differences are there. You know, like the trim detail package is certainly not repetitive. And then the other structures, I think, the Fraser's house, I think, has, you know, more steeper roof pitches. It's got some cross buck railing details. There's another one that we've done, the Murphy family. That's got a little bit more of a farmhouse feel to it, kind of like simpler geometries, if you will. So, and there's other people designing there as well. So,
All right.
What are the windows? I can't see.
Hold
from here.
on one second. Hold on one second.
Oh, yeah, let me just finish.
Hold on.
So are the trim around the windows, are those skinnier than usual, or is that just the CAD drawing?
through you, Mr. Chair, no,
Yeah.
they're standard 3.5 inches.
Okay. And the only other thing I can think of that might make this a little more unusual, I don't know, is making it a hip porch on the front that goes around the corner, but I don't know if that works because it looks like there's a shadow line that's on a different facade, but and a chimney would really make this sort of crank it up a notch. And yeah, I think it's a nice design. Thank you.
Okay, Carrie, you had a question?
I just want to confirm what style windows. Are they 2/2? I'm assuming that just because they're so light, but
Through you, Mr. Chair, yes, they are.
okay.
Okay. Carrie, why don't you go ahead?
Well, I've already said my piece. I just had that one question, so I couldn't.
Okay,
So,
and Dale already answered. And Diane, you,
Yeah, I would like to see the elevation below the west one. That, what is that over the door going in? I can't pick it up on. It should
It's a
have,
potential connection to the garage, which we haven't seen yet.
oh, that's why it's so weird. The other thing on that west elevation, you have to give some credence to Johnny McLaughlin,
Lots of glazing.
his cross pieces and the roof coming not as far up as he has it. At least it shows that in the drawing. It may just be the CAD, but particularly on that west elevation, it is high. I would like to see as the trim around the windows thicker also. It I don't know what you could put on it. Just, I'd like to see something more on that west elevation under the porch or the windows or something. It seems very
Naked.
naked, yes, that's a good word. So that's what I have. I'd like, I don't know, maybe you have one added to massing, I don't know. You have some more in the back, and I'd like to see it when the garage, at least what you're proposing, the garage to go on to that. But the garage, if whatever, I believe, come back down.
Okay, we're gonna get onto that one next.
Yeah, how tall is this building, Matt?
It's on the plan, 28.2. That's the
Okay.
tallest ridge feature, you know.
Yeah,
The rest of it's in that 24 to 25 foot range.
Okay, Diane, is that
okay.
all?
That's all.
Okay, just checking. Matt,
Mr. Chair,
can we look- Abby, hold on, please. Can we please look at the site plan? For the first one. One down. No. Down one.
That's the
Yeah,
third one.
1, 2, 'cause
There you go.
basement. That's a basement.
That's okay, I just wanted to see the jogs. Abby, did you have something you wanted to add?
yeah, I think that the window up in the main dormer there is too elongated. I'd like to see that a little squared up. And I do like Diane's idea of maybe going up an inch on the trim. I think 3.5 is a little skimpy.
Which trim are you referring to? The window trim?
Yeah, window trim.
Okay,
Isn't 3.5 like the minimum you can do?
well, it's the standard.
Right.
It's like on 90% of the houses on Nantucket. Matt, my concerns are that the front facade of the main house needs a little bit more differentiation in terms of jogs. And I'm not concerned about the garage so long as the scale of the garage, so long as it's not connected. I know we're gonna talk about the garage, but I wanna talk about it with respect to how this structure presents itself. And without that connector and diminished by being further back on the lot, will make a tremendous difference on the presentation here. I'm not as concerned about the dormer. The dormer windows, I agree about the gable window, the third floor area. How about a motion?
I have a question,
Yep,
sorry
go
for
ahead.
you. From the west elevation, when you can look at it closer, you can see the dormers that are behind the roof masses. Could you lower those pitches? There are 7. It doesn't look like it's gonna affect your design. You have some 4 pitches on here already. I'm not suggesting a 4, but so that you don't see that.
Mr. Chair, sure, we could edit that. I mean, I still think that, the funny thing about these elevations in perspective, I don't think you would see it, but we're happy to change that. It's easy. Thank you.
All right. How about a motion?
Motion to hold for revisions.
Okay, on your motion, Diane,
Aye.
Abby,
Aye.
Carrie,
I,
Bill, and I'm an aye, so that carries unanimously. We're on to the garage.
Put a 2 or 3 or 230.
230.
230. Get in just a wire. I can start.
Yeah, please.
Be ready. Sure. So this is the garage. We did include it in the previous main house application just for reference purposes. It's a 1.5-story structure. I think the height of it is shown. I think it's under 24, which would be standard. And just trying to get some usable space in the second floor. Gym office space becomes pretty critical. The ground cover has certain limitations, but anyways, I personally like the way that it sits in terms of the overall composition of the house and the garage. I do love connecting them with the breezeway. It's not ground cover. I think it's highly functional, and I also like the aesthetic of it, but definitely hear what the board's saying, so it'd be easily detached the two. So with that, comments from the board, Mr. Chair, thank you.
Okay, thanks. Any questions for Matt? Okay, who would like to begin?
I'll go.
Go.
I think the roof connection is not good. It makes the whole thing seem way too massive. I think the height of this also juxtaposed next to the house. Although that's really helpful for us to see it all, I don't think it did you any favors because it makes this thing seem too tall and then the whole thing overwhelming. But I think if you could get a couple feet out of this and detach, maybe just add a shed roof at the mudroom door of the house and let this be simpler, lower. The flush dormers make it seem big too.
Gail? You're good.
You know, the building really is not tall, but I see what
But
you're
with the house,
with the house. So
yeah.
maybe a solution would be to push it back as far as you can go. That might help and eliminate the connection,
Yeah,
because it's reading as one building. I see what Carrie's saying.
Any other comments, Joe?
No.
Diane?
Yeah, I was wondering, looking at it, at the height of, it's only 22.6, but it looks more, it looks bigger. And I don't know, the dormers, they look like they're flush dormers. But
they are,
I'm
it's
not,
just that the overhang mitigates
right.
it.
Could they be moved in so that you broke up the rectangular shape? I don't know. Just
So,
as a,
if you just give him a declarative statement and then he can work out in the revisions. Just what it is you think is appropriate.
I think it would be good to break up the rectangular shape as much as you can. I think dropping it down, and maybe moving those dormers in so they weren't flush, and that's what I was thinking.
Okay, thank you, Diane. So I'm gonna go back to my comments that I made during the house. I think disconnecting from the structure and pushing it back will go a long way in every regard. And just for the record, I think this works out with the grade. It's 22.9, but with the distance between the shingle line and the grade, it works out to be 23.9-ish. Or 23.6-ish rather. Right? Can we go to the elevation then? I mean, Matt started saying it was 24, so I'm not pointing out any big secret here, but it's.
The grade, if I could,
Yeah.
Mr. Chair, is that we do take the dimension string from the grade. So there's about a 6-inch difference between the grade and the garage slab itself. And then, so it is 22.6 in terms of its overall height, which is, I would say, submit to you, that that's a pretty low structure.
Yeah, no, that height is fine. It's
Yeah,
only
no,
the
oh, guys, please.
location.
So I didn't see where the hash mark was. I just saw the line.
Yeah,
So it's actually 22.9. Gotcha. Okay.
we get that little scale in there.
But as Gary said, I think the point is the scale relative to the house and its location relative to the house and the connection to the house. Any other comments from Matt?
Push it
Okay.
as far back away as possible.
Quick one.
If I could just, I can definitely push it back. I just want to point out on the site plan that we are close to
Yeah.
that setback. So I do have some room to push it back, which I don't see an issue with.
Pull it up a few feet and it back as far as it can go.
Motion to hold for revisions.
Thank you. On your motion, Abby?
Aye.
You just-
Diane?
Aye.
Gary?
Aye.
Bill?
Aye.
Okay, great.
Thank you
Matt,
all.
thank you.
Thanks for coming in on a Thursday. It's the middle of the day for everybody.
Yeah. We're here to serve, man.
Well, you just, it's all billable, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We get jelly beans at the end of the year. We have, is Miracle here?
Chairman, no, we don't have anybody else in the queue.
Ethan's in Florida.
Ethan's in Florida. Tori?
No.
That's what we got up on the screen.
Oh, man, I really wanted to get to January 31st. All right, well, how about a motion to, let me just check and see what I can know. All right, well, we got through a bunch of chunks. How about a motion to adjourn?
What about the minutes?
Minutes, there is, they got approved on Tuesday.
Oh, yeah,
And the only minutes to be approved are the ones listed there.
And, yeah, I'm gonna send them then. Read on my, in my draft folder, it's on all good. Motion to adjourn,
Yeah,
on your motion.
I.
Abby,
Hi.
Diane,
Aye.
Al,
I,
Adam, and I. Thank you.
who does the minutes?